National Assembly passes policy and strategic plan of the Ministry of Federal Affairs. And Unity State Parliament reopens after recess. Good afternoon and welcome to SSBC English News, coming to you live in the national capital, Juba. With me, Abraham Ken. Peace and stability in Sudan. The president was speaking in a meeting with the newly appointed deputy chairman of the Sudan Sovereign Council, Malik Agar, in Juba on Monday. Agar was dispatched by the chairperson of the council, Abdel Fattah al-Burhan, to discuss bilateral relations and the ongoing conflict in Sudan. He called for an end to the raging conflict in Sudan, describing it as a senseless war. The presidential advisor on national security affairs, Tut Galwak, says President Kiir is taking all necessary steps to ensure that the conflict in Sudan is brought to an end.
كان بمساعدة بعض الأفكار في كيفية معالجة القضية السودانية. الحرب مؤثر والحرب يأثر كثير في الوضع في السودان وبالذات في العاصمة السودانية. هو ده داير يعني إيقاف الحرب لإيجاد طريقة لمعالجة المعاناة بتاعت السودانيين. وعملنا كبير جدا في أنه رئيس دولة الجنوب الرئيس سلفا كير ميارديد سيلعب دور أساسي في إنهاء الحرب في السودان بالميديشن بتاعه. نحن شايفين أنه جوبا خير منطقة وخير بلد لأنه يستضيف ميديشن بتاع السودانيين والسودانيين يعالجوا مشكلتهم. هنا نبحث مع دول كثيرة بما فيها الدول الإفريقية الموجودة حولنا. هي دي قضية إفريقية، والقضية الإفريقية لابد أن يرجع يعالج في البيت الإفريقي. I am against war because I have been in the war for the last 40 years. I know war. I know the war that has so many devastating consequences to the people and to the country itself. Secondly, this war has to stop. It has actually, it has no basis. I say, no, it has happened. We want to, the whole thing is a dislocation of a counter-insurgency group.
نائب السيادة اطلع الرئيس الوضع الموجود في السودان وطلب من الرئيس خطوات من دوليات عشان بأسرع فرصة يكون في وقف النار في السودان. ونفس الروح متابع الرئيس سلفا كير دائما اتصالات مع الطرف الصارعين في السودان أو مع إيجاد أو مع إيجاد أو إذا السودان لأنه كلنا يسعى لأن يكون في وقف النار في السودان ويكون عشان يدي فرصة لعمل الإنسان
in the Great Lakes region.
Morning, we have met with the leadership of the parliament and political parties that are represented here. We have been briefed on the leadership structure of the parliament as well as the representation of the political party in the parliament. I would like to congratulate the government and the people of Angola for their gender balance in the government and especially in the parliament, and that even the speaker of the parliament is a female. These are some of the democratic principles that are required for our nations to go ahead. I have also briefed the leadership of the parliament on the composition of the South Sudan Transitional National Legislative Assembly. Otherwise, the main reason we are here is to meet His Excellency the President of the Republic of Angola in my capacity as the sitting president of the Forum of Parliamentarians of the Great Lakes region. We are here to present to him the resolutions of the last meeting which was held in Juba and to brief him on the key decisions that were made. So as you are all aware, the focus of the Great Lakes region is on peace and security and development. So this is the key agenda that will be discussed.
The National Parliament, chaired by the acting Speaker Oyed Nathaniel Perino, has unanimously passed a federal policy and strategic plan 2022-2025 of the Ministry of Federal Affairs. The chairperson of Parliamentary Committee on Federal Affairs, Malek Chok, says the policy is to pave way for the adoption of a federal system of governance during the making of the permanent constitution. Malek said policy would also guide in the allocation resources to all the levels of government. Speaking to the media, Parliament's spokesperson Jonah passed all the observations and recommendations.
Presented before the Harvest House on April 25th, 2023 by Honorable Minister. The Honorable Minister of Federal Affairs, Lusuba Ludura Wongo, submitted the policy statement and strategic plan of his ministry to the Harvest House for deliberation and approval. In his submission are to 1. Guide the ministry in initiating and adapting a federal system of governance into the permanent constitution. 2. To set out parameters on implementation of government
for each ministry and the tasks that have been assigned to it by the agreement, and then it will be following down the constitutional amendment and constitutional making process, which is actually going to be a key issue, a key item to be discussed in the following few months. So the policy has been passed in totality with a recommendation and
has been laid to rest in Malwal Chad military barracks. Senior presidential advisor and government officials who joined mourners at the burial of the late General Akwe Dengakwe. Late General Akwe Dengakwe, formerly the Under-Secretary of the Ministry of Investment, was appreciated rather for his active role in the liberation struggle which led to the independence of South Sudan. The governor of Jonglei State, Dinaj Jok Chagor, described the late Akwe as a liberator and urged the national government to prioritize health infrastructure to rescue the lives of the people.
Today we are mourning with you, the whole family, and in particular in our government. This is a test to the government of South Sudan that we must pay attention to health. Imagine if South Sudan can have those hospitals that we're trying to take our people to in India, in Nairobi. Some of our people that have gone might be still with us now. If we could have the best hospital, we never know. Maybe General Akwe would have been with us today. We lost our friends, and we lost our general. And the people of South Sudan, in this barrack, they know that they lost a friend, and they lost a hero who have fought for the independence of South Sudan.
The acting Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Deng Dao Deng, is set to leave for Oslo to join world leaders in addressing security of children in armed conflicts. Foreign Affairs acting Minister confirmed Lincoln Nyman in Juba. Speaking after the meeting with the foreign minister, Ambassador Lincoln says Norway would love to see South Sudan.
Mr. Deng Dao Deng will participate. Mr. Deng Dao Deng will participate in this conference in Oslo. We need South Sudan to also lead internationally on this issue, educate Deng Dao Deng participating.
And the Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs, Ruben Madol, and the Deputy to the Media, the Ministry's Under-Secretary, Dr. Gabriel Awo, says the meeting exchanged views on how the United Nations could provide technical support and institutional capacity building to the judicial sector.
The Deputy Representative of Secretary General on issue relating on the progress of the election law, which the Minister informed him that is already submitted to the National Legislative Assembly and is waiting to be called so that to present it. Also, the Minister briefed them on the constitution of the National Constitutional Review Commission and the political party, and issue also of the progress in the judicial reform, and the body which we agreed last time to be established, which we call it the court.
A number of issues covering the reconstitution of the National Constitution Review Commission, National Election Act, and the Judicial Reform Commission, and also other institutions. We also exchange views on how UN and AMIS can strengthen our support to the technical assistance and institution building to the Ministry of Justice and the justice sector.
And from that story, we are now going for a short break, and when we return, we shall look at the plans by the Ministry of General Education and Instruction to introduce online learning programs in the country. Please stay with us.
And I said it many times that this country will not go back to war again under my leadership. I still maintain that word, and I will maintain it for tomorrow, next year, 10 years to come. If I'm alive, I will keep it.
This work together. Okay.
Welcome back from that short break, and to continue, the Ministry of General Education and Instruction says plans are underway to introduce an online learning program in the country. A team from Avanti Communications on Monday presented their capabilities and experiences to implement the project in remote areas across South Sudan. General Education Minister Wudeng Achwil says the project would benefit the people of South Sudan in building digital skills. The National Minister of Information, Communication, Technology and Postal Services, Michael Makwelwet, says his ministry would work with the Ministry of General Education to implement the proposed e-learning programs in the country. Meanwhile, the Deputy Minister of Information, Dr. Jacob Maju Korok, says the project would prepare the coming generation to practice and showcase their skills in technological advancement.
With the world, we need to connect our children, prepare them for our future. And this, of course, is a very big project. And as it is clear from the last presentation, it seems that we seem to be planning on the same money, which is with the GPE, and this is what Avanti is talking about now. So we need to find out exactly, and this will be coming only as facilitators to enable the ministry and Avanti.
And then look for what I don't have. So it is important, whatever is there, we can start with it and look for more resources to build on what already existing. I am sure our team will be able to assist. What they do to help education across the world is what even individuals
will give us many advantages, will create job opportunities for people, and also will give our business people a room of carrying out the business. The Ministry of ICT will be ready to cooperate and also work together with the Ministry of Education so that
the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and Disaster Management, Albino Kolatak, has briefed the UK Ambassador Guy Warrington on the general situation of refugees and returnees who fled the conflict in Sudan. Speaking to SSBC, Minister Albino Kol noted that they are transporting the returnees to their places of origin. The UK diplomat expressed his country's support to South Sudan's efforts to deliver assistance to the people fleeing the Sudanese conflict.
We came to assess the level of our intervention, all of us, whether it is effective or not, and what is the gap. This is what we are now sharing together. And we actually stress the importance of all of us moving together so that we get more resources to respond to the situation. As the government, we will continue doing this, as we have been actually announcing. And as the donors community also commit that they will continue to look into.
IDP situation created by the tragic conflict in Sudan, and the international community is working with the government of South Sudan to deal with the flows that are coming in this direction. We are particularly concerned about removing blockages and places like Renk and Malakau, and I discussed with the Minister ways in which we could keep the population flowing to the places that they come from, and indeed how we can provide assistance to those who have nowhere else to go, because not everyone does have a home to go to.
Unity State Legislative Assembly has reopened assigned on the resettlement of returnees, improving road infrastructure, flood mitigation and deployment of the necessary unified forces to maintain peace in the area. From Bentiu, our correspondent Gadwijwal has the latest.
Mentuil on Monday appreciated the reopening of the second session of the State Revitalized Transitional Legislative Assembly in the state capital Bantu under the theme Advance the Oversight Roles and Effective Dissemination of Peace, putting much emphasis on resettlement of returnees, road construction, flood mitigation and deployment of necessary unified forces in all the sport areas. In his address, Governor Dr. Joseph Mentuil said the state government have so far completed the renovation of road connecting 6 counties with state capital, in addition to Roria Kaikang Mayom Road that is described as lifeline of Greater Vargaza region.
As our state restore its calmness in realization of peace, our main focus should be delivery of services to our people, and this may come in variety of initiatives. Construction and maintenance of internal roads connecting the state with its counties and the roads connecting us with the neighboring state and the capital city, Juba. Flood mitigation, maintenance of dikes, and clearance of Nam River and its tributaries, resettlement and reintegration of returnees from Sudan, provision of relief and humanitarian assistance to returnees, IDPs, and the local residents. Provision of education and health centers of IDPs to their places of origin, to build construction of Among Payinja Road has already commenced. The plan for constructing Mayandi to Payinja Road is in place but not yet started, and I believe it will commence as soon as all the necessary arrangements are completed.
The Speaker of the State Legislative Assembly, Niger Ngair Bangot, commended the President Salva Kiir, the signatories to revitalize peace agreement, and the Governor, Dr. Joseph Mentuil, for implementing the key provision of the Roadmap 2022.
Your Excellency, we, the parliamentarians, appreciate and upload your love for the Parliament.
Niger Ngair echoed anticipated consequences that a population will face as a result of the delay of the clearing of the Nam River, despite the morale demonstrated by the farmers this year, creating fear of another wave of devastating flood.
The returnees from Sudan after the war broke out are in their need for food, water, and allocation for their settlement in the market. The suffering of the people of Unity State is prolonged by the delay of cleansing or clearing the Nam River.
Plus issues that have to do with the peace building, also how the party work together, elections, and also war in Sudan, and how it affects Jonglei State and the citizens here in Jonglei State. We are very happy to have the Deputy Ambassador here in Jonglei State for this important visit, and she comes also with her team that are also focusing on how peace can be built and how community can work together. So there are a lot of programs that are on progress right now that are being launched by the organization. Some of them are being funded by the Scottish government. So we're very happy for the Deputy Ambassador, for herself to come to see what is happening in Jonglei and how things are going. So we're very happy. Thank you so much.
So our sincere thanks to His Excellency the Governor and the Deputy Governor and the entire team of ministers. We're very pleased to meet everyone this morning. We had a very constructive and wide-ranging discussion. I told the Governor how committed the United Kingdom's government is to peace in South Sudan, how much we want to see the roadmap implemented in full and on time so that elections can take place in December 2024. And also how important Jonglei is to South Sudan. If peace can prevail in Jonglei, then it can prevail in South Sudan. So we're very committed to working with our
Police chief directs traffic police personnel to cooperate with road users to attain traffic safety. This and more stories will come here after a short break. Please stay with us.
Dear friends, it is time to move from words to deeds. It is time to turn to the page. It is time for commitment to an urgent and much needed transformation. The process of peace and reconciliation requires a new start. May an understanding be reached and progress be made in moving forward with the peace accord and roadmap. In a world scared by divisions and conflict, this country is hosting an ecumenical pilgrimage of peace, which is something rare. It represents a change of direction, an opportunity for South Sudan to resume whaling in calm waters, taking up dialogue without duplicity and opportunism. May it be on everyone an occasion to revive home. Let its citizens understand that the time has come to stop being carried along by the tainted waters of hatred, tribalism, regionalism, ethnic difference. It is time to sail. It is time to sail together towards the future. Together.
The great city for logistics and
great city. In Kandabadra,
the Deputy Inspector General of the Police Service, General Thomas Jal Thomas, has appreciated the Great City for Logistics and Supply Company for recognizing the service of the traffic police. He congratulated all the traffic police personnel for their tireless service to the public.
وده بس عاوز حاجة بسيط الأخلاق behaviors بتاعكم انت ما تبقى nervous دايما انت كبتاع ترافيك والرزول على انه القانون هذا ساعتك لكن القانون بيقول كده.
General James Roadwar, the Assistant Inspector General for Traffic Police Affairs, explained some of the major challenges to the Traffic Police Directorate.
ada nugul marur kali kun tunu gelbu abya de kunu de ko macha kan la bisu ma da kun abya be wara u biju wasfa fa marur da uniform da da salam da baraka kali kun tayu de ku bitana kaman ma kun uniform barawo ku bitana barawo.
The Director General of Traffic Police Directorate, Major General Kunjona Court, commended the Great City for Logistics and Supply Company and all who participated in the occasion.
فالخدمة الإنسان بيعمله ده يعبر فا والكلام الكثير فلان عمل وفلان قال وانت توزوز تجري ورا الناس ما تستفيد حاجة. دائما أنا داير أقول للزملاء بتاعي المسؤولين في البوليس بالذات اللواءات ومدير بتاع إدارات يكرس جهودهم في القوة الماسكة، القوة اللي أنت ماسكه ده كرس جهود ونحن بنشتغل كويس هيكون عندنا عربات مو عربية واحد أي زول مبسوط هيجي يمد يده يدي حاجة وده ليكم أنتم.
The Director of Great City for Logistics and Supply Company, Bosco Juma Daniel, he committed the company to collaborating with the Traffic Police Directorate to provide service to the public.
مرور قدمنا ونحن قدمنا في كل فترة ده عاصم ما يقارب ماشي ل 7 أو 6 سنة ما في أي إداء أو أي شكوى من إدارة مرور ولا من مكتب شؤون قانونية
وزارة الداخلية أو من مكتب مفتش العام بيجوا في قصور الشركة سيتي قصر ونحن فخورين لأننا بنقدم في بلدنا. نحن فخورين بنقدم في بلدنا عشان كده أنا بنقدم بكل طاقتنا.
The company organized the program to honor and encourage the traffic police personnel in their service to the public. For SSBC News, Mario.
The first and 17 batches of immigration officers have celebrated 10 years of service. Speaking at the occasion, the acting Minister of Interior, Peter Pokong, calls on the officers to provide quality service to the people. Our reporter Emmanuel Duku has more on the story.
Celebration of Batch 17 and the first batch of immigration is to thank the police leadership for trusting the batch in their 10 years of services. Addressing the function, the acting Minister of Interior, Peter Pokong, encouraged the officers to work as a team and to keep the confidentiality of the work.
لأنه في وحيد بتاعه ده يكون في مشاكل كثيرة لأنه جزء منه بقول لك أنا جنوب السودان أنا جنوبي عشان هو ده يكون عنده باسبورت أو جنسية بتاع جنوب السودان. كلام ده نحن بنشوفه كويس.
اشتغلتوا متطوعين في إدارة الجنسية واللغات والهجرة وكنتوا بتشتغلوا لغاية بالليل بعدين الساعة 12. أنا بشكرهم لهذا الروح. شكر برجع لكم.
Batch 17 is the first batch that established the Directorate of Civil Register, Nationality, Passport and Immigration after the independence of South Sudan. Emmanuel Duku, SSBC, Juba.
Central Equatorial State Ministry of Gender, Child and Social Welfare, in conjunction with Favor Africa Ministry International, rolls out a 5-day training on trauma healing and counseling. The program is focusing on helping trauma victims to overcome the trauma experiences and heal wounds of unpleasant encounters. In his inaugural address, the Director General in the Ministry of Gender, Tombe Wani, encourages the participants to concentrate on the programs for them to become agents of trauma healing in their various communities.
Which is organized by the Ministry of Gender, Child and Social Welfare with collaboration with the organization Favor of Africa. So this training is going
to transform the mentality of the people of South Sudan, teaching people how to exist together in peace and unity, the importance of being trusted, the importance.
And Lakes State Students Association at Stafford International University has inaugurated its executive body in Juba. Monica Adel Mobording is the association's chairperson. Officials from Lakes State Government and the founder of Stafford International University, James Shear, attended the occasion.
In ceremony for the Lake State Student Association at the Stafford International University, this association brings all the students who are in that university together so that they have common goal to make sure that no student left behind.
Students as they live in Juba, they have the objective and aspirations of improving the welfare.
And with that, we have come to the end of our news. From me, Abraham Ken, and the whole team here, we thank you all for watching. Bye-bye.